How I seal charcoal for mixed media projects in oil paint. You'll need your drawing. This charcoal drawing is on the back of posterboard. Something to paint on top of, I placed on paper towels. I'm using Mod Podge today. A paint palette to place Mod Podge on. Stiff pieces of paper with a straight edge or a brush. Pour some Mod Podge on your paint palette. Lay your drawing on top of your protected surface. My favorite way to do this is to use stiff pieces of paper. In this case, this is just some cardstock, but any stiff paper with a straight edge will do. You take the paper and you dip it into the Mod Podge with a generous amount on your paper. You will take it and lay it across your drawing and very gently drag it across the surface. Do not push down hard on this first coat. The first coat of this will seal the charcoal onto your drawing. You'll take the excess and gently scrape it across your drawing. I'm taking my time, and I'll go one direction first, and then I'll go another direction, making sure that I'm smoothing out any big globs. If you get a drip on it, it's no big deal. You have some time before this dries, and you're slowly working your way across your drawing. If your drawing is fairly large, it may take a few passes with the Mod Podge to cover the entire surface. It's no big deal. Place your Mod Podge down, and then drag it over the layer that you just did and onto the new part of your drawing. As the Mod Podge becomes tacky, you'll want to smooth out all the lumps and bumps, going slowly over the surface of the drawing and then taking off any excess Mod Podge. I wipe it on the paper towels beside me, and then I keep on dragging it across my drawing until all the lumps and bumps are smoothed down. If your drawing is on paper, like this one is on the back of poster board, it probably will curl. It's no big deal. It should flatten out more once it's dried. Once you have it all smoothed out, it's time to let it completely dry. Then you can go in and add a second layer. The nice thing about the second layer is that you don't have to go as slow or be as gentle. You're still going to apply a generous amount and work it over the top of your drawing. Go different directions because we're trying to make sure it gets all in the nooks and crannies so that our drawing is completely sealed. And that's it. The process is exactly the same. I'm still scraping it on. I found that it's much faster to continue using the cards or the stiffer paper, and I'm dragging it across, and then I'm going back and eliminating all the bumps and lumps and any kind of gooky spots, and slowly dragging it across, making sure I smooth it out as I go. But you don't have to. If you want it to have more texture, don't smooth them out. You also can take this top layer and go in ways that work with your drawing and to create added texture if you want to do so. It's up to you. I'm keeping mine smooth, but you can rough it up if you like. As it gets tacky on you, you'll have to be careful not to keep touching it. So you have a limited amount of time to work with it, but I'm smoothing it out and then I'll let it completely dry once more. A good idea to do before it completely dries is to go ahead and change out any paper it's laying on top of, and that way that paper doesn't stick to it. So I put some fresh paper towels down, and now I'm letting it dry. You can see it's becoming more and more clear, and now the finished product. Look at that, completely sealed. The highlights have been darkened. Overall, if it's on paper, it is going to darken some, but the drawing remains and hardly any smeared. And if you feel any places that are rougher and you don't want them to be rough, you can take a little piece of sandpaper and go back and just kind of knock it down. But it should be good to go. Once it's completely dried, you're ready to paint or use it in other projects.